For me, it was we'd have weights usually 4 or 5 days a week in the morning at 9.
And talking about UCSB, tell the kids out there that want to know what it's like playing Division I basketball, especially UCSB. I get it; they have a really good conference, in my opinion. It's very competitive, very good. I think it gets overlooked from the East Coast. The East Coast does not understand how many good West Coast conferences there are. But what is the mentality that the UCSB coach wanted from your team, yourself? What is the daily schedule of waking up in the morning to going to bed at night and studying for your classes? Because it is a very academic school.
Yeah. So actually, funny enough, my first year, I was originally recruited by a different coach. So after the first year I was there was like pretty tumultuous. We didn't have a great year. We had like some guys have some academic issues and things like that. And then a coach came in who ended up being my coach for the next 3 years. Me and him are really close. He's actually Jewish. His name's Joe Pasternak. Great guy. He's like, he can't be a hair over 5'6", but he's just like, he's small, but he's like a go-getter. He'll call like if he wants to recruit you or something, he'll call you 8 times a day. Like, come here. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys who. He doesn't have any shame about it. He's going to try to get what he wants. Great guy. But to answer your question, when he came, it was like a lot more regimented. And granted, it depends on your major. If you want to be, because we had a kid on our team who was I think he was a bio major, right? So his course load was a lot heavier than, someone who was not to bag on history or something, but someone who's a history major,
History's tough.
It is tough, but
I can't do it.
It's no bio. It's no bio.
That's true.
Like for me, we'd have weights usually 4 or 5 days a week in the morning at 9. So you'd have to get up for that. Some people would have class, like my senior year, I had class in the morning before. So I'd have class at 8.
And you guys were on a quarter system, correct?
Quarter system,
so that's
yeah.
the classes are quarterly long. They're fast.
Yeah, 10
it's not
weeks.
a full semester.
Yeah, 10 weeks, and then that's it. But usually, like, it's better and worse because if you can get lost very quickly. Because it goes so fast and, it's such a heavy curriculum in such a short period of time. So you can get lost, but at the same time, if you don't like a class or something, you can get out of it pretty quickly. And
right.
You can take less classes at a time. So I was in usually 3 or 4 a quarter, whereas I know in semester you were on probably, 5 classes?
I was in 6.
6? Okay.
I was a little bit of an overachiever, but...
Of course.
That's because I had 2 years. I had 2 years at SC to get through all the classes I wanted to take.
That must have been pretty brutal, honestly.
No, I loved it.
Really?
Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. I had a blast taking sports classes, journalism classes, podcast classes. It was fun.
Yeah. So, but it didn't. You never felt it like affected you, and like you didn't feel like you didn't have enough time in the day or something at certain points?
I'll just say this. Playing sports, playing 2 years of college baseball, dealing with trying to get straight A's and transfer over to my dream school, USC, you would 100% agree. It puts you in a mindset of you wake up in the morning, you lift weights, you go to class, if you're able to go to office hours, you go to office hours to earn the respect of the teacher.
Yeah.
You go to practice, you come home, you take a shower, you eat food, and you do your homework. And
yeah.
If you have some free time, you'll hang out with your friends. I get it. It doesn't sound fun, but we all make free time for our friends and, ladies and boys on both sides. But I think it mentally puts you in a right spot by playing a sport. Playing college basketball, you were on a system. Every day you knew what you were going to do. You knew what time you're going to be home.
Yeah.
And it made it easier for your life, right?
Yeah. Basically, like to continue, like just to get back to it. So after, sometimes I had class in the morning, then you lift. You usually have class till... I don't know, we'd have practice every day at 2:30. So when you have to be at practice. Like 2 to 2:30 would be the only times. So you'd have to go in, you have a trainer, you have things. If you're hurt or you have some injury, you'll go in and get treatment. So you're doing that in between classes or right before practice. And you're going to class from that, 10, you usually want to shower after weights. But it's usually shower and then, from there you go to class and you'll be there till 2:30 and then you try to go get some treatment, try to maybe work on your game before, and you'll be in practice for, depending on how your coach is, like usually in preseason practice, like October when the season starts, but there's no games, the practices will be a bit longer, 2.5 hours.
Right.
And then you'll go home, you got to do homework, you got to study, you got to read, you got to do whatever you got to do. And then, like you said, then you have your free time, especially on the weekends, especially if you know how to manage your time. Like I know you did, and I started to get later on in college. But if you manage your time pretty well, you can like have your fun and go out and see friends and do all the type of stuff when you need to,
Right.
or want to. But if you don't manage your time well, it can bury you, especially if you don't have good study habits to begin with as a college athlete. Like they'll provide support for you and help you out as much as they can, but like if you let it bury you, it'll bury you.
Right.